Hey y'all, good evening. Welcome to Air to Ground Farms. I'm Rich.
And I'm Shelley. Welcome to Monday Night Live.
Woohoo! We'll start this discussion with a quick farm update, and then we are going to dive into some raw milk chats.
Very controversial food in this country.
My goodness, raw.
Oh, yeah, raw. Yeah. Probably, if not the most controversial food, potentially both the most nutritious and the most dangerous.
Well, it's interesting that it's been in the news as much as it has lately.
Well, maybe that means something.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, we'll start out by saying Shelley was in the ER last night.
Yeah, we live kind of in the country, so sometimes when you get sick, and I got like kidney infection going on, you have to just go to the emergency room in order to get any really good medical help. Because like if I go to the prime care or like the urgent care here, they send labs off. It takes a couple of days to come back, and it really didn't feel like we had that kind of time. So we went to the emergency room and got antibiotics and got on some good medicines and getting it all cleared up.
Yeah, it started out with just some discomfort, some back pain on Friday, but it felt like, that was Friday evening. Felt like, we can make it through the weekend till Monday. Saturday evening, fever and chills. By Sunday afternoon, like really high fever and chills, and that was the
all right. I cried, Uncle.
we'll decide to go on to the doctor. So
yeah.
If Shelley seems a bit off tonight, it's because
she just doesn't feel
great. Feel great.
But I'll be fine.
That's right. So
I'm tough.
Farm update. I think probably the biggest thing that happened on the farm this week was we had an on-farm kill of one of our hogs, one of our pure Berkshires.
Yeah.
We had
Matt came out.
Matt from Blue Ribbon Custom Butchering from Hartville, Missouri. He is awesome, and he comes out to your farm and does on-farm kills. He'll do cows, sheep, pigs. He does elk. He's done water buffalo. Like he'll come and goat. Like he's really good. And
right there on your farm. There've been a couple of benefits to it. Benefit one, you don't have to take your animal anywhere. He comes and gets it. Benefit number two, no adrenaline. The animal is standing there eating in their natural habitat, and he just walks up and they're gone. So the quality of the meat is so much better just by not having a stressed out animal in the whole pens and everything.
Yeah. If there is a downside to it, it's that he is not USDA inspected. He's a custom processor. So we sell when we use Matt, we either use it for ourselves or animals that we've sold as like a whole animal. So This one was sold as two halves. Matt came out and did an on-farm kill for us. It worked amazing. He makes one shot and off it goes.
He did one of our pigs for our freezer, and one of the cool things he did with that particular animal, he hung it for a week in cold storage.
Which he does. He does that on all hogs.
Well, that particular thing makes the quality of the meat and the tenderness of the pork just off the charts. Yeah. A lot of processors rush them through, and they'll hang them for a day, which is fine. But when you hang them with the skin on for a week and allow the natural bacterias and things and enzymes to do the work on the meat, it intensifies the flavor and it tenderizes the meat. And it's great.
Yeah, we were both pretty convinced that our pork couldn't get any better. And then when we tasted that first chop after Matt processed it, we were like, oh man, it just got better.
It did. Yeah. I was like, it can't get better. And I was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, with the beef, he hangs it for 3 weeks, which is difficult to find a processor around us that will hang it for that long. Yeah. Our USDA processor will hang it for 2. We asked them to hang it for a 3rd, and they told us no, they don't have the cold storage for that. So that was really nice. So that's going to go to 2 families. that hog will go to 2 families, and it is going to be amazing pork. I'm confident of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, what else? I moved the sheep in with our layer chickens.
Yes, because where he has them right now, the chickens, the grass and, wild, people call them weeds, but I don't know if there's such a thing as a weed. It is what it's supposed to be. And so all of the things are growing where they are. And he was going to mow. And then it occurred to him, we have an entire flock of mowers.
Right.
And he said, right next door, like they were just right next door to him. And he said, I think I'm just going to move the sheep in with the chickens.
So right now the sheep are grazing. The chickens they were really freaked out at first.
You should have heard them like screaming and cackling.
Oh man, they were cackling hard.
But they got over it.
Yeah. So the sheep are mowing the layer area. That's a different thing that's happening on the farm.
Well, there's a downside. They're having a little bit of competition for the food.
Well, the layer chickens just aren't getting their normal daily non-GMO grain ration.
But the ration isn't so far off of what the sheep normally get. We're just not giving them anything right now. And that way, if they eat it, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
They're used to it and can.
And the chickens they're fine. Like there's so much grass and bugs. And
it's quite a large area.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fine. We may get a few less eggs over the next couple of days, and that's just not that big of a deal.
But it's worth it to get the sheep in there and get them. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff for them to eat in there.
Yeah, and they do really good for the soil.
Yeah.
Their poop is great.
Yeah.
And their hooves are great.
Yep. Give the chicken something to scratch through.
You're going to catch piglets.
I am.
That are currently in the
I thought we had sold
forest.
all of the piglets we were going to sell. We have a friend that lives nearby that said that he wanted a couple, and then he changed his mind, and we were fine. And so ours, that we have 17 that we held back that we're growing out for our own sales and production. And he contacted me this week and said that they were able to get their pen built. He would like a couple. So we put together a little, I don't know, a 3-sided hog panel trap that we're going to just drop a red pig board in on the end of it. We've been feeding them in there for a couple of days, or actually a couple of feedings.
Yeah.
Michaela and I built it last night. So I think tomorrow evening we're going to try. I'll contact him and make sure that he can accept the piglets tomorrow evening, and then we'll catch them tomorrow. And that'll be good.
Yeah.
And then move the piglets on.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job. We talked to you guys about the silvopasture and what our plans are with those piglets. It's coming time for them to leave their first area in those woods and move on to their next area. So
Huck did a lot of good work yesterday and really cleared out a bunch of young, I guess, are they saplings?
Yeah, they're just saplings, and it's so wooded in there that even when they're like 3-inch, 4-inch diameter tree, it may be 20 feet tall. They're just leggy, and they're not. It's not good.
So he went through and just knocked down everything and piled it up, and it's starting to look like a whole new place already.
Yeah.
We don't have pictures tonight, but maybe next week we'll have them up.
Yeah, and one of the first things you can tell is there is sunlight on the ground.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing, because everywhere that that sunlight is hitting the ground, there's going to be grass growing. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool.
The turkeys are getting really big too. They grow. My goodness.
Yeah, we have them
they grow fast. We need to give them some more space.
Yeah, we have them in what was our chicken pen when we lived in the city. In our backyard, it was our chicken coop, chicken area, chicken run. We have them in there, waiting on them to get big enough to where they can't just push through our poultry net. But it's about to be time to get them out of that area. I think I've moved it probably the last time. That's what I was thinking this morning, was their next move will be out into a poultry net.
Yeah. Turkeys don't really require a whole lot. They need somewhere to maybe roost and some shade.
Yeah,
and
bugs. I gave them a place to roost, and they're not even using it. There may be 1 or 2 up there, and they don't care. They just want to be walking around. They love the grass. Like
Yeah.
that's their
When
biggest
you
thing.
move them onto new grass, they make the coolest little sounds.
Oh,
They sound so happy. It's great.
happy turkey noises.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
They really talk to each other and tell each other how wonderful
They do.
the food is.
Yeah.
It's great.
And then this week we will deliver another 150 birds to the processor and pick up the birds that we had processed last time in the form of, this time it will be chicken breast and tenders and ground chicken breakfast sausage.
Yep. I'm really excited about this. We have a really large, like disproportionately large alpha gal community. If you don't know what alpha gal is, it's basically, it's a tick-borne syndrome that people get, and it causes them to be allergic to mammal protein. And it makes them sick at varying degrees, but they get to where they just can't eat any beef or pork or lamb or dairy, any kind of mammalian food. So they can eat a lot of chicken and turkey and fish and emu, I guess. Ostrich, things like that. So we went with some ground chicken this time, and the ground chicken breakfast sausage, which is sugar-free, I believe.
It is.
And so we're going to have plenty of that at the store. And, of course, we can ship it to you.
Yeah, because it's USDA processed.
Yes, that's right.
Well, before we jump in, let's see what some comments are. We've got Anna. Hello from Lakeland. Hello again this week, Anna. And Angel's Homestead says, hi, everyone. Josh Huckabee. Hello from the chicken yard. Hey, Huck.
Hi, Josh. Josh.
Homestead Jude, hey y'all. West Virginia in the house, hi. Scott Graber, hello from Minnesota, hello. Jeannie Kinland, good evening from Nebraska. Love the garden tour with Nana, she was awesome. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I assume she's watching, and I know that she would be happy to hear that. We've got Kim Markham, hi from Mom and Dad. So relieved to see you looking beautiful as always. I agree.
Y'all are too much.
Definitely
You're
looking
so
beautiful.
sweet.
Prayers for a continued and speedy recovery. Love y'all. Love you too. We've got Wendy saying happy Monday from Memphis.
Happy
Hey, Wendy.
Monday.
Happy Monday. And Becca, hello from the barn. Hello, Becca.
The adult kids out there working while we're in here.
Playing.
Playing.
We're in here playing.
That's right. Hanging out with our friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Our Monday night friends.
Yep. Okay. Raw milk. That's what everybody calls it. Raw milk. Why do they call it raw milk? Like, I was talking to a lady at the farmer's market the other day, and she's wanting to get some from us. We have 3 dairy cows that we milk and sell the milk by the half a gallon. And I'm talking to her, and she says, "What?" She said something about, just having natural milk. And I thought, after I got done with the conversation, I thought that was a really good way a really good term or word to use for raw milk would be natural milk. Nothing's been done to it at that point, And I liked it, and it felt so good, and it felt like not dangerous. It felt,
when we actually start, when Shelley brought it up, you actually start thinking about it. And there is a negative connotation to raw. It's not always, but like there is if something's raw, that means that it's like edgy or you're out there maybe doing something a little bit wrong or maybe a lot of it wrong. And, you think about other foods like salad, something that's not normally cooked, and you don't say, well, I'm having my raw lettuce.
No, you don't. Or my raw apple.
No,
you just call it an apple. Now, you might cook them, but then you're going to probably say cooked apples. But you don't say, I'm going to go eat a raw apple. We just don't say that.
No.
Now, we do say raw chicken.
Yeah.
And if you hear the word raw chicken, you're like, danger, danger.
Right.
Or that chicken wasn't all the way cooked. Danger, danger. So we have a perception within our food world and society, that raw oftentimes equals
danger. And I think that the big milk like that, I think they propagate that. And they have gotten, I will say, I think probably convinced the U.S. government to continue to propagate that as well. So if you look at the CDC or the FDA, both websites are very against unpasteurized milk or raw milk. And that even just the terminology raw milk, I think, is propagated on purpose.
Yeah, to give it the image that they want it to have.
The negative connotation,
Right.
the same feeling that you get from raw chicken, right? If you touch raw chicken, you have to wash your hands.
And then it gets worse because in many states, it is not legal. And federally, it's not legal to sell unpasteurized milk. In states, you just can't cross state lines with it. So
Some states.
in some states.
Well, some states you can't do it.
You can't have it at all. I think North Carolina just switched their laws to where, nope, there's no more sale of raw milk. In the state of Missouri, you can sell natural milk straight from a farm and make deliveries of it. In the state of Florida, and many other states follow this, it would be you can sell it as not for human consumption, pet food. Now, if you want to drink pet food, that'd be your business.
Some states take it a step further and they require you to add something to it, like a dye or something that would make it where humans wouldn't want to eat it. And then some states do allow for like a cow share where, that cow is broken into 4 quarters and each family owns a quarter of the cow.
So it's technically your milk. They're not
Because
selling
it's
you milk.
your cow.
If you want some milk from your cow, then in that state, you would have the freedom to do that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Even in the states where it's legal, we're literally like doing back alley drug deals with the milk.
Yeah, not all of them, but some of them. Like we do. We feel like we are because we have a retail outlet. We have a store where we sell our USDA processed meats, or like last year, our chicken was processed under an exemption. This year it's USDA processed, but we can't sell the milk through our retail store. So we have to make deliveries outside of the store, and it just feels very, very back alley-ish. And often joke like, we passed 3 liquor stores, 2 dispensaries,
and 4 vape shops.
And 4 vape shops on our way to deliver you this raw milk.
Yeah.
Because we can't have it in a store, but you can have all of these other things in a store. So
Well, another thing that you can't do is these deliveries are pre-sale.
Yeah.
They are already sold.
That's correct.
We take orders and then we take them that milk. We cannot set up and have extra in the back. Like, let's say, and we've had people ask us, well, can I buy some right now? No, it doesn't work that way. You cannot. So there are more restrictions, and they will, if they see you selling raw milk, it has been known, even in Springfield, that they will try to catch you doing that.
They'll set up a sting, and
Yeah.
they've done it. They set up stings, and they catch people,
Yeah.
illegally selling raw milk that wasn't pre-ordered.
But we happen to believe that unpasteurized milk is far better for consumption than pasteurized milk. And that's what we kind of want to just discuss tonight is what are the benefits? What's really in milk that oftentimes when you buy it from the store, you're not getting that? And what are you getting if you drink the store milk? There are reasons, and there's a reason that they have to fortify pasteurized milk. Like, why are things added back? Right?
All right. Well, before we go any further, we'll look at a few more comments. We've got Living Traditions, Homestead, Kevin and Sarah. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hey, y'all. Glad you're feeling better, Shelley. A little better, at least. Jenny Mitchell, I've heard of folks raising geese for alpha-gal folks for Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know, y'all want geese as well, LOL. We have geese, actually. We have 2 guard geese in with our layer chickens. And we had a Toulouse goose, which is often used for meat, and we processed it. And it was delicious, but I was a little surprised at how little meat was actually on it. I think.
Yeah, that particular goose that he just lived in the yard and ate whatever. We ordered female. We didn't even order a Toulouse. We ordered another like African gray, and that's what showed up.
And we got a male Toulouse.
We got a male Toulouse, and we did end up eating him.
We did. Didn't we have it for Christmas? Wasn't it a Christmas goose?
Something.
I think we had a Christmas goose.
I think we did a Christmas goose. Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against geese. Actually,
no, they're actually quite. They're fine. They're quite good. Yeah,
they can be loud.
Well, the Toulouse are very calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Wendy says, "Hey there, Kevin and Sarah. We've got Aunt Connie and Billy. Glad to see you're feeling better. Love from North Carolina." Homestead Jude. In Japanese, the word nama means raw and also fresh. Too bad we don't have a word like that. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Fresh would be another good
Homestead Jude, good to know. Son is going to Japan in a couple of weeks. I'm sure he's brushing up on the language. And then we've got Kim Markham again. Interesting. At our local produce stand in North Carolina, they have milk that says not for human consumption. They may have that same, they may have gone the Florida route because I think it was.
Maybe they did.
It used to be legal, and I think they've recently changed it.
It's unpasteurized.
Yeah. Which means you can buy it and feed it to your pets, and if you want to drink your pet food.
I would drink that pet food.
Would you?
Yeah.
Angel's Homestead says, Oklahoma is the same way as Missouri. I have to call ahead several days to buy my natural milk.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Anna says, you just reminded me of a question. You said last year you had an exemption, the 1,000 chicken maximum. You are USDA now, so the 1,000 chicken is per year. It is, yeah. So federally, there is a federal law that says all meat must be inspected before it can be sold retail. And there is an exemption to that federal law, and the federal exemption allows for 20,000 poultry to be processed on farm. Each state then can further restrict that federal exemption, and Missouri further restricted that exemption down to 1,000 birds. So when we had the USDA inspector come out to our farm and sat and chat with us for a couple of hours, mostly about my time in the United States Air Force. But when he left us a sheet of paper that had a USDA signature on it saying that we were exempted from the law that requires meat to be inspected for retail. And the Missouri exemption is for 1,000 birds. That is, how many birds can be processed on your farm that are not inspected? Now, we can raise more birds than that. We just can't process them. So that's what we're doing this year is we plan to raise about 2,000 poultry, and we are taking them to be USDA processed. So there's really, maybe if we got into the millions of birds, you might have to have some kind of environmental look, but there's really no limit to how many birds we can raise as long as we're not processing them here on farm.
You can get a 20,000 bird exemption in Missouri, but you have to build a facility, be approved, and basically have your facility inspected. And, I don't really have any interest in that, nor do I have any interest in processing 20,000 birds at all, you know?
Yeah.
So we're going to haul them off.
One retired crop says, growing up on a Wisconsin farm in the 60s and 70s, we always drank raw milk. I especially loved the separated cream. So do we. You can do so much with it.
Uh-huh.
Nancy says, I like natural milk, the terminology.
Yep.
Me too.
Me too.
I think it may take a minute because we've said raw milk now for 4 years, but I like natural. I think we're going to start calling it that. Carol Hampson says, hi from Philly. sounds like Big Brother is working to keep small farmers out of the markets. Yeah,
Every day.
I think so. I would agree. And we
Across the board.
We had a chat with Tom Vicari, who often comments here back and forth through YouTube comments, and we mentioned the big guys, and he was like, in his opinion, he thinks it's actually the medium guys. The big guys could care less about the small farms.
That's true.
Those medium cow dairies that have spent an exorbitant amount of money doing the things that are required for pasteurization and chilling and all of that stuff. Those medium-sized dairies really, in his opinion, is where the issue really probably comes from. Homestead Jude, are you allowed to sell value-added products like liver pate or butter? Those two actually fall in different categories. Liver pate, we could, if we had an inspected kitchen and we went through the different health department things to become, food handling and our food making stuff.
Right.
We could do a liver pate. Butter, we cannot. The way it is now, we're allowed to sell milk and cream that is unpasteurized. The cream can be in different forms. It could be heavy cream, light cream, sour cream, whipped cream. Like, as long as it's cream, we can alter it. They call it adulterating it. But once you do something more to it, like you cannot take that cream then and shake it until it changes form and becomes butter. Now we're not allowed to sell that.
But what if we had a commercial kitchen?
I think if we had a commercial kitchen, that would be different. I think we would be able to at that point.
But we don't have a commercial kitchen right now, so we can't do anything with it that is food prep.
Right.
Food altering.
We can't do yogurt because that's cooking it, or we can't do kefir because that's fermenting it. If we wanted to do ice cream, that actually jumps right over into the Department of Health and Senior Services in the state of Missouri. So like it's a totally different department to do ice cream. Yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Angel's Homestead, I grew up in Saginaw. Mooney's used to deliver fresh milk where they came in glass jugs. Well, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, we do our natural milk in half-gallon ball mason jars, glass jars.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so how do we, if you want to know how it works, we sell it in the half-gallon ball mason jars. And on your initial purchase, you can either give me $3 for the jar, and then we'll start doing a swap, basically a jar deposit. Or you bring me a jar, ball mason jar, and we will start the rotation, and you bring them back and I wash them, or really Rebecca does that now. But I give you milk, you give me jars, and then we just do that every week, and it works out. We came up with a little trick, and it's working really well. We purchased from Amazon some special and different lids, because so many people around here can things, and we would get rando lids with, zucchini 2013, written on the top of it. And I'm like, man, I can't sell somebody milk with the zucchini from 2013 lid on it, And so we ordered some one-piece mason jar lids that are gray, and you're not going to have that in your house. That's just not likely. And so we switched to those, and now we get our jars with our lids back. We sanitize them, wash them, sanitize them, and we can reuse them. And it's working out great.
Yeah, It sure is. So we wanted to chat a little bit about something that you often hear associated with unpasteurized, natural, raw milk, and that is A2. A lot of people, it's a hot topic, especially in the homestead communities. My A2 this and my A2 that, and our jerseys are A2 jerseys. So we wanted to dive a little bit into what does that mean? What does A2 mean? What else is there? What's milk in the grocery store So we'll go a little bit into that conversation. We can go real deep if you guys want to ask questions about it, or we can
definitely throw out questions,
or we can keep it sort of superficial. But it is the designator for the type of casein that the cow produces. It's a protein, and it's a beta casein. And cows, they can have A1 or A2. There is some Bs in there, but it's rare, so we're not going to even talk about that. And there can be a A1A1, A1A2, or A2A2. And it's just their genetics. It happens to be the kind of protein that they produce.
So Guernseys, Jerseys, those are typically can have A2.
They're in
Holstein are typically A1.
Yeah, the Jerseys, Guernseys, and some of your more heritage breeds, somewhere around 70% of them will be A2. So 30% will not. And I think it's about reversed for Holsteins, where maybe 30% of them will be A2, but the majority of them will not, like 70% will not. Humans produce A2 milk. Goats are A2. Sheep are A2. Bison are A2. Like it is a, most other mammal milk is A2. It was a genetic mutation that happened a long time ago. And in the Friesians turned Holsteins, the A1 mutation happened, and it has sort of carried on. And that's how we end up with something different than what used to be.
Right. And most large dairies are Holstein, and it is all of it is A1. There are a few dairies that have come along who have switched their herds and gone and bred the A1 out of them and now have A2. Down in Australia, I think New Zealand, mm-hmm. They have at Brahms out in this region in the Midwest. They have mostly.
I think Brahms has the largest A2 herd in the nation, I believe.
So there are people who are switching, and for good reason, quite frankly, in our opinion.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You were thinking.
You're good. You go with your data, please.
So what does it mean? I guess is really a question. Who cares? So what? There is a process that happens with the A1 protein as it is being digested, and it can break down into a substance that your intestines treat as like an opioid. It activates the opioid receptors in your gut and can slow down digestion, just like, some of the pain medications that you might take. An opioid-based pain medication may cause constipation or stomach irritation. It's that same process that happens with A1 casein as it's being digested.
BCM7, beta-casomorphin 7.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
BCM7 is what then will bind to those opioid receptors in your stomach, slows down digestion, not in everybody, but in some people. It can slow down digestion, and then that can cause some of the discomfort that cause people to think, I'm intolerant to lactose. And sometimes it is you are intolerant to A1 beta casein and not the lactose. Lactose is actually the sugar that's in the milk. And some people find that when they drink A2 milk, they don't have those same issues. So while our family does not have any of the A1 issues, we wanted to provide milk to families that might have those issues. And it's not like reverse, where A2 causes something that A1 doesn't. So we thought, we'll do A2 girls. And we have quite a few families that throughout the 3-ish years we've been selling natural milk have been able to drink milk when they haven't been able to do that in years to even decades, a couple of them.
Yeah. Well, Rick's wife, Jill, she hadn't had milk in 10 years.
Right.
And then she got that and she needed it because she was kind of needing more calcium, and she got that and she was able to drink it and eat the cheese from it. And it really kind of changed her life. So that was good. There's a couple of
grab
questions.
a couple of questions. Yeah. So I think this one is the next one. Carol says, when did the rules change so milk has to be pasteurized? I don't remember the date, the law, like when FDA came in and made it like illegal to sell across state lines.
That's a good question.
I don't remember that one.
I don't even think that we have that in our notes on that one.
I don't remember when the FDA made it illegal to sell, but the pasteurization happened in the early 1900s. It was when the industrial...
Late 1800s and early 1900s, kind of like it was right there at that turn of the century, both sides of it.
Yeah.
Go ahead with the swill dairies. Man,
well, the Industrial Revolution brought farmers into the cities. So in the 1800s, the majority of the population was distributed throughout the nation, living out, and a lot of them had their own cows or a local farmer where they would get their milk. And with the Industrial Revolution, that brought people into the cities, and because there wasn't like refrigerated transport, they weren't being able to keep the cows out of the city with the peoples in the city. So instead, they moved cows into the cities, and they started housing dairy cows in warehouses, basically, and they were feeding them waste products from the beer brewing processes, and those facilities became very, very nasty.
Really fast. They called them swill dairies. And the cows were sick, the ground was sick, the humans were sick. The milk was sick.
If you want to turn your stomach, start Googling some images of swill dairies, and you'll find pictures of them like using harnesses to hold up cows that couldn't stand on their own so that they could be milked. I mean, the animals were really sick. Mm-hmm. And what happened from that then is their sicknesses were getting into the milk, and then the milk was killing children. Yeah. And it was terrible. And they thought, they had the idea of, what if we use this process that Louis Pasteur developed for processing alcohols, and what if we used that on milk, and what if we could pasteurize the milk and kill all of the bacteria in milk? And they started doing that, and almost immediately the children that were dying from the bacteria in the milk from these swill dairies stopped dying. And that, pasteurization of milk became like this, it was hailed as a lifesaver, mm-hmm. which it actually was.
It was. And pasteurization has its place and had its place. If milk is coming off of massive dairies, pasteurize it.
And we've done a podcast on milk and pasteurizing, and that was one of the last things I said was, I think there is a place for pasteurization, because
you've worked on those dairies before.
I've worked on 2,000 cow dairies where they never leave the concrete in their entire life, and it's dirty, it's nasty, and I think that, okay, you're milking 2,000 cows 2 to 3 times a day. There's definitely potential for some bacteria to be in there, and pasteurization is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that it's necessary always.
No. Environment and clean hygiene practices are what keep us safe.
We got an answer. The one retired cop, 1987.
Thank you. I'm like, somebody asked ChatGPT, please.
Thank you.
I should have said that. I'm like, where's my phone?
Nancy
1987?
Says we had a...
Wait.
That's when the FDA made it. I remember
it was
that.
That recent?
Yeah.
Was that about the same time of Got Milk?
Probably.
No, I'm serious.
I know.
Yeah.
Nancy says, we had a small dairy, drank natural milk, and my children were very healthy. Yeah.
No doubt.
I think we can cut to the chase right now. I think if we boiled it down, we believe that you should have the opportunity to do what you want to do. And if you want to drink natural, unpasteurized milk, I believe that you should be able to do that.
We do believe in food freedom.
Homestead Jude says, what breed bull do you breed your Jersey cows to? What do you do with bull calves? What do you think of Dexter's? We breed our Jersey cows to our beef bull. We have Red Devon beef, and we breed
And they're
them.
actually dual purpose.
They're historically, the Devon is a dual or tri-purpose bovine. They used them as ox, as milkers, and as beef. It was one of the first breeds that came over from England. So we use our Red Devon bull to breed our girls, and we have 3 A2 jerseys, and we are very happy when our girls give birth to bull calves because they make amazing beef.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so we keep them.
We keep them, we band them.
We band them and keep
very
them
young
as beef.
and keep them as beef. And then what do we think of Dexter's? They're small. I think they have a place. For us, our cuts of beef are small enough on our Red Devons that I wouldn't want to go any smaller. And the Devons are they call them a medium frame. They're in the 1,000-pound range, slightly bigger, slightly smaller when we have them processed. And we end up with ribeyes and New York strips that are smaller than people are used to seeing in the store. And because we're selling ours, we don't want to go any smaller.
Right.
I do think they have a place, especially for homesteads, though, where a smaller frame animal might be.
If you don't know about his channel, Pete from Just a Few Acres Farms on YouTube, he's got a very nice channel. They raise Dexter's, and he sells his meat at the farmer's market. He sells it by the cut just like we do. He has them processed just like we do. And he's up in upstate New York. He's got plenty of beautiful grass, and he grows them out quite nice. Yep. So it can be done.
He goes to the Ithaca Farmers Market.
He goes to the Ithaca Farmers Market. And check out his channel. It's really good.
Carol says, local grocery stores sell so many types of milk, such as almond milk. I didn't know we can milk an almond. Haha. Yeah, exactly.
I will tell you, the shocking thing is, I think Mark McAfee from Raw Company, now I think is what it's called, through legislation and lots of work, the one state where it's legal to buy unpasteurized milk in the store retail is shockingly California. Yeah. You can get it at the store.
I don't know they're the only one, but they definitely were the first. They may be the only one, but
I think now,
it is pretty
retail,
shocking that California.
I know, with all their interesting rules.
Yeah, Jeannie says our local dairy in Nebraska has A2 milk, but they don't sell it raw. Fair. They say people that are lactose intolerant can tolerate their milk, like you said.
Oh, cool.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. But more on that.
Okay.
Later if we get the time. Kathy says pasteurized milk is one thing, but homogenized milk is where milk is screwed up. Take all good things out of the milk and add artificial things back in. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think there's a fly.
It's a gnat.
Well, it's hit me in the face.
It's because you're so pretty.
I don't know why it keeps bothering me.
Yeah. When they homogenize it, they spin it really fast. They basically beat all of the fat molecules hard enough that it mixes in with the rest of everything, and you don't have to shake it. So if you notice the thumbnail on this for our live here, you can see the cream separated and rose to the top in our milk fridge. And that's what happens when it is not homogenized. And when they homogenize it, it breaks all of those fat molecules down to where it all mixes in. And then, 1987. Becca says the federal ban on selling raw milk between states since September 9th, 1987. Thank you, Becca. Homestead Jude, the FDA in 1973 adopted a regulation requiring pasteurization for milk in interstate commerce. In 1987, they issued a regulation prohibiting the interstate sale of raw milk. Credit to Google search. Thank you. Okay. Anything else on A2 that we wanted to talk about? I don't think so.
Okay.
So, beneficial bacteria in unpasteurized milk. One of the things that happens when it is pasteurized is it kills all of the bad bacteria and it kills all of the good bacteria. So you end up with a sterile liquid. And in unpasteurized milk, there is beneficial bacteria. There is Lactobacillus and Bifidus. What was it? Bifidobacteria. That's it. Bifidobacteria.
Hey, all these sciencey words.
Yeah. Anyway, good bacteria that are in the milk, and those get killed when it's pasteurized. And interestingly, a byproduct of the Lactobacillus bacteria, as it grows, a byproduct is citric acid, and as Lactobacillus bacteria grows, the citric acid that is its byproduct actually kills the bad bacteria that's in the milk. So that's how you can do things like leave raw milk sitting out on a countertop, put a cheesecloth over the top of it, let it sit for a couple of days. It will clabber. Or weeks. It will clabber. It'll get a tangy taste, a tart taste, but it doesn't become spoiled. And that's because the naturally occurring bacteria in the milk, the acids that they're producing are killing the bad bacteria, and it just sort of changes form. And you can go from clabber to quark to clabber cheese to, you can do all kinds of things with it because that naturally occurring bacteria is still in it.
That's what you just said is the important part. It doesn't spoil. We've all opened a sippy cup or a bottle that has been sitting somewhere of pasteurized milk from a toddler, and it's spoiled. It was underneath the seat of the Suburban, and it was disgusting. And it's just like, oh my God, it's the worst, right? It's even hard to get it out of the plastic cup. But this milk, it doesn't spoil. It just changes form. And it's a form that you can eat. You can literally just, I believe, Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey. Well, that was most likely raw milk that had been sitting out from the night before when they milked the cow. They just, you set it out. You don't have refrigeration. And that was probably her breakfast.
Yeah.
Was raw milk clabber.
Yep.
Of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't. It's really phenomenal. It doesn't get stinky.
Right. There's another thing that happens. There is bacteria, and that naturally occurring in unpasteurized milk, and the bacteria, their byproduct is lactase. And lactase is required for our bodies to break down lactose. And there is quite a few adults that can't do that. Children have lactase naturally occurring. Most children have lactase that in their small intestines, and that helps to break down the lactose, the sugar in milk. And as we grow up, for about 35% of Caucasians and about 65% of others, we lose the ability, our bodies naturally, to produce lactase. So oftentimes what happens also with pasteurized milk is the bacteria that produces lactase is killed. And so if you are one of those people whose body stops producing lactase, you now can't break down lactose. And that causes digestive discomfort and all of the things that where people are lactose intolerant, it is because they can't, their body doesn't naturally break down lactase.
So what's the solution?
The solution is in unpasteurized natural milk, the bacteria that produces lactase is still alive, producing lactase. So some people, where we had the discussion saying that they can drink A2 milk, but they can't drink A1 milk, some people have that same response to, I can drink unpasteurized milk, but I can't drink pasteurized milk. What that means is their body stopped producing lactase, so they can't naturally process or break down the sugar in the milk.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that it does is all of the beneficial bacteria, they feed our microbiome.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is a wonderful thing to add those naturally occurring wonderful bacteria back to your gut. Now, people often wonder, okay, but what about E. coli? Because we know cow's poop and all that kind of stuff. And what about listeria? Well, first of all, keep your equipment very clean and have good hygiene whenever you're milking your cows. Make sure that everything gets cleaned.
And that is the most important thing.
Right.
And I think, again, we've said it many times, one of the reasons why we have the YouTube channel is so you can see how we do things. And if you
transparency.
If you look at how we do things and you say, I don't like that, then don't buy our milk.
Right.
Right. And I would recommend, if you're going to buy unpasteurized natural milk from someone, have at least a discussion with them about their cleanliness practices, because you don't want swill dairy.
No.
You don't want disgusting nastiness.
But another thing that happens is within the natural milk, as the good bacteria remains, it crowds out the bad bacteria. So the E. coli's and the listerias are less apt to even be there because the good ones outperform the bad ones.
Truth.
And so it's a natural immunity. It adds to your entire gut immune system at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's listeria outbreaks in lettuce. There's listeria outbreaks in
Deli,
pasteurized
lunch meat.
Yeah, lunch meat and pasteurized, ice cream or other milk products.
Pasteurized milk.
Yeah.
That then gets recontaminated. And
because it's all about the practices of, transporting it somewhere or keeping the tanks clean. And there's so much more to it than where did it come from and was it cooked?
There are way more cases annually from pasteurized milk. And I understand there's more of it that is drank, but there are way more cases from pasteurized milk than unpasteurized. All right, let's look at a comment or two. The one retired cop, although your cows are a little smaller, back to the Dexters, I bet the steaks are really tender and flavorful. I'd love to buy some of your beef someday. Awesome. We'd love to sell it to you. Check out Air to Ground Meats. It's my hat. airtogroundmeats.com, and we'll ship it to you.
Absolutely.
Jeannie reminding everybody to give us a thumbs up. Yeah, thank you. Homestead Jude, this might sound gross, but I drink my natural milk from a plastic cup every morning, and I don't wash the cup. I just rinse it with hot water. Smells a bit cheesy, but never bad or sour. I don't wash my coffee cup.
No.
Smells a bit like coffee.
That's true. Don't drink out of his coffee cup.
At the Fighter Squadron, I went to drink my coffee one Monday morning after a first Friday where the wives come in, and I grabbed my coffee cup and it was perfectly white inside, and I'm like, oh, what happened?
Your wife washed it. I washed his coffee cup. It needed it, y'all.
Could not believe it.
Probably ruined it.
All right, we talked about why pasteurize.
Well, other health benefits do include, like, kids who drink the raw milk, especially from an earlier stage of life, tend to have less allergies, and they're stronger immune systems. They don't get asthma as much. They're just healthier human beings, all in all.
The heat also removes some of the vitamins that are in there.
That's why they add it back.
And that's what Shelley was mentioning, adding back in some vitamins. There's some B vitamins, some D vitamins. Like there are.
But the thing is, they add D vitamins into it, but they're like hardly even bioavailable. Like your body can barely even use it because there's not the other things to go with it. Mostly fat.
Yeah, fat.
Because D is a fat soluble.
K2,
Yeah. Well, it is. Vitamin. And if you're drinking skim milk that's been fortified with vitamin D, but there's no fat in it, your body can't do anything with that. It's sugar water.
Yeah, actually.
Essentially. Like store skim milk.
Yeah.
Not our skim milk. Our skim milk, if I skimmed it, it's still going to have some fat in it.
Well, and it has all of the vitamins, and minerals, and probiotics. And
True. Well, anyway.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. I know it is.
All right. That's it. That's what we had to chat with you about. Throw up any final questions if you have them. No question.
Oh,
we'll
there
talk.
is.
Yeah. What is
Carol.
Carol, why would anyone take the fat out of milk other than consuming less calories? Isn't full fat milk better for us?
I suppose it depends on who you ask and what area you're asking. And yeah, well, the fat-free, low-fat craze of the 80s, 90s, 2000s, all of that, which hasn't worked, by the way, that really started it. And yes, the fat is good for you. Eat butter,
We take the fat off so that we can make ice cream and butter.
Yeah. I don't know why anyone would skim it off. If we skim off the heavy cream off of the top of it, it's still pretty thick and sweet and delicious because all of the proteins are all still intact and enzymes and stuff. So you can't really tell with ours. Our skimmed milk would be like whole milk in the grocery store.
Yeah, whole milk
based on percentage.
So they remove whole milk. They remove the fat from it first, because each cow is going to have slightly different profiles. So each cow is going to be giving you a little bit more or less fat. So the first thing that they do is they remove all of the fat from it. It becomes skim milk, and then they add fat back into it, and until it gets to I believe it's 3.5%, and now that is whole milk. So our Jersey girls are probably closer to 5.5% is where they are. So we could remove quite a bit of the fat from it and still be considered whole milk.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. As it is, it's probably to some people it probably tastes like half and half. Oh, meeting wellness. Yeah. Hello. Hi. That's awesome.
What else do we have? We've got Anna saying, thank you. My prayers for you to have a great week. Thank you very much. And we've got Homestead Jude. Look up Sally Fallon Morell for more info on natural milk. She's the head of the Weston A. Price Foundation. Wonderful resource. Thank you. That is exactly where I was going next, to say the Weston A. Price organization is a great place to go look at information on raw milk or natural milk or unpasteurized milk. They also have a website called realmilk.com, and that is a great resource. They have a PowerPoint presentation that I wasn't able to get to download. It almost seemed like maybe their site was being hacked or something. It was interesting. Anyway, but they've got a great resource. It is a long PowerPoint presentation. I've downloaded it before. It is like over 100 slides, and it is just chock full of all kinds of resources on unpasteurized milk, the benefits, the talking points, the rebuttals for when people are calling you crazy because you're drinking unpasteurized milk. It is a great resource. Another one is rawmilkinstitute.org. Another great.
That's Mark McAfee. Yeah, out in California.
So another
started that one.
great resource. So there are more, but those two I would say are probably, and if you can hit those guys up, that is a lot of great resources.
Huck has a comment.
I consumed store milk all my life. Natural milk changed my life. Store milk is like water. I agree.
I agree.
Me too, Huck. I didn't know.
I didn't either.
A lot of y'all know our story. The dairy cows were the one thing that I said we will not have on this farm, and now they're probably the last thing that I would want to get rid of. Carol says, this city girl says, thank you for sharing your knowledge. Farming is fascinating. Oh, thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
We're learning a lot for
Yes.
sure. Jeannie says, I had a subscription to the Western A. Price publication.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah, well, then, for sure.
Absolutely. They've got a baby milk formula that a lot of people use. That it's a really good resource. And Anna says, I like your educational format. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well,
I mean, we may run out of things to educate about. I don't know.
We can talk about the stuff we talked about before and remember something different next time, probably.
Well, for sure. I mean,
because I know
we may run to the end of our.
We skipped a bunch of stuff on this.
Yeah, one. That's true. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us. This really is cool.
It really is.
You love the educational format. I love the interaction and the back and forth. The questions really make it feel like we're hanging out with you, and really makes it worthwhile. It feels like to us, not just standing on a YouTube stage giving a presentation. It really makes it feel more like we're with you.
Right. Yeah. And it honestly, your questions and everything help drive our conversation as well, because I'm not going to even say how hard it is just to sit up here and talk for an hour at a camera, so you guys popping up is like really just keeps the conversation spurred on. So thank you for doing that.
Homestead Jude, thank you for covering this topic. I wish more people knew. You are welcome. And then Becca says, thank you. Awesome.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to go get some water and probably lay back down and maybe take a Tylenol.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us again, you guys.
And until next week, next Monday night, I believe, we'll see y'all.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.